Hello world, and welcome to my little bit of Blender tutorial. This is a little bit of a promise, a little bit of behind the scenes BTS of my piece. I want to call it Project 9, but it's not Project 9. I'm going to call it Project 10 until Project 9 can get back. I'm going to call it Progression because that is what the piece is called, Progression. And today I'm going to explain just a little bit, like a little for dummies feature. So explaining for dummies, not for dummies really, but you know what I mean, of the tracking feature in Blender. First off, this screen here is the main screen that you will see anytime when opening Blender. This Blender I'm using is Blender version 2 point something. Here we go. Version 2.68, as you can see where my mouse is right here. Version 2.68. So some of these features aren't available in previous versions of Blender, but this is definitely the screen you will see. A mesh, which is the object which I am hovering over right now. This cube is the mesh that is here. The light source, which is this here, this little dot here, and the camera, which is this strange object here. The arrows you see are the grabbing objects. If you click the green arrow, it'll move it along the y-axis. As you can see, green represents y down here in this corner. Red moves it along the x-axis, and blue moves it along the z, sort of in a 3D plane. Z, y, x. Anyway, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Undo 3 times. The undo shortcut is Control Z, and that's how it is. So, okay, let's get started. Okay. First off, we're going to move from this window to from this view, which is the 3D view, which you probably can't see. Here we go. This little box here, meaning 3D view, to the movie clip editor. The site I'm about for the clip I got from here was Hollywood movie. No, it was Hollywood something. I'll be back later about where the site was so you can get the footage, but for now, this is a little quick little thing. So you go to open your clip. Go to open your clip. My clip is not in my computer. Should have been, but it is not. Quick fix. No, it's not F, so it must be E. Quick little directory change. Tracking lesson, blaster walk. Go ahead, and this shortcut for selecting all A actually works here. So yeah, do that. Open. And it actually shows this as a series of pictures, which is what a movie actually is, just a series of pictures. So if I press Alt A to play, you can see that this is happening, and also that my fan is going off. But you can see that the series of videos is playing. I'm playing it all the way through. This little blue line here is the memory cache of Blender, or of your computer that Blender is using. If you open up user preferences, it's best that you turn up the cache to the highest your computer will let it go. This isn't the highest my computer will let it go, but it's where I put it because it's fine for the video. Still walking. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to make do with that for now. 100. That's where I'm going to stop it. Alright, here is the camera. I'm going to click Control left click to pick a spot for the camera to follow. And then I'm going to press Control T to track it. Tracking is, well, I'll show you after this done. Okay, and it actually did much faster than actually having to go through the video, put it into the cache, and track it, or having to track it manually. This was a pretty good track actually, because it tracked all the way to 96, which is close to the end of the video, which is close to what I kind of want for now. Okay, another track. I'm going to track this leaf right here. And when doing tracks, you might want to start from frame 1. That's just the best thing to do at all times. Okay, track. Or you can also press this little play button here, but Control T is probably the best option for those of you that remember shortcuts. Boom. All the way to frame 100. That's a good track. I'm going to do it again. Boom, another good track. Alright, let's do another one. Where's this red thing? Okay, that red thing isn't there. Here's how this will go. Delete that track. Here's how this will go. I don't think it's going to, because if you haven't been noticed by now, this leaf will actually go under this green track we're going to use for the object later. And well, I'll show you what to do. Alright, so Control T, track, boom. See, it's lost. At this point, you're going to want to just skip a couple of frames until you can see the object again. Grab, move it, and then track it again. Boom. See? Good track. Otherwise, good track if the thing hadn't gone over. Alright, I'm going to pause the video and continue to track while you guys wait, because it's going to take up the entire video time I have. So be right back. Now. Okay, so the tracking video is done. If you go back from the beginning, the blue in this thing is where the track will go, and the red is where the track has been, just to let you know. Whoops, didn't mean that. I meant to press Alt A to play the video instead of the timeline. Oh, so pretty. Let's check the graph to see if everything's all smooth. Everything's kind of shaped the same, except for this one. I'm pretty sure that's the track that went wrong in the middle, and I kind of gave a little loop to. No, it's not. It's this one here. Okay, that we'll worry about in a later date. Next part for the quick tutorial, object tracking. It's just like camera tracking, but just a little bit different. Ooh, before I forget, let's go ahead and go into motion tracking mode. That way everything's all set up and ready to go. Now you got the video, the graph, and the dope sheet just in case you need it. Alright, now we're going to solve for this camera. We go here. Keyframe is points of most motion within the video. So we're going to set the keyframes at 1, and I'm going to go ahead and say 60 just to be strange, because I'm honestly not all too sure about it. And then we're just going to go ahead and solve for camera motion, and here we go. Bundling. Okay. Solve error 2.32. Any track less than 1 is good. So let's go ahead and change this keyframe so you can edit, make it a little bit better, clear the solution. As you can see, the blue line that was up here is gone. It's up here. I'm sorry, I was pointing at it with my actual hand, not the mouse. And camera motion. Something's wrong. Oh, I didn't solve it from 1. I did not solve it from 1. Okay, clear solution. Solve it from point 1. Camera motion. Oh, so that's not me. That is not my fault. Clear solution. 70. 2.9. So let's just leave it at. See what 55 does. We'll just leave it there. Alright. Next up, object tracking. It's just like camera tracking, but with objects. So I'm going to do the same thing I did with the camera with this object here. the red, green, and white balls. First off, we're going to do this here. And see this over here, I'm going to unclick the green, unclick the blue, and just leave it as red, because if I realize sometimes it will track a nearby white ball if it's too white, like so. It's too white, like so. So let's just leave it like this and hope for the best. Tracking, Control T. Sometimes you gotta manually track it yourself by doing the step-by-step track. I'm just doing this to save time. Alright, I'm gonna pause the video again and do all this tracking. I'll be right back. Okay, so now here, I gotta hurry up because I only got about 4 minutes left on this thing. Alright, here we go. So, now I got to, I'm good with the object. Now we're gonna solve for object motion again, just like we did with camera motion. I'm just gonna show you this. Okay. Now we're going to solve for object motion. Clear solution, just in case there's something there. 50. Ooh, that's a big error. The solution, slightly less big error. Big error. Oh. Alright, so let's just leave it at 30. Get rid of some of these spikes in the graph. Solve for object motion again. Alright, let's just leave it at that. Solve error 6. Now we're going to set up the tracking scene. Go back to your camera object. First off, you gotta go open up another window. Go back to 3D view. Stare at the cube through a perspective. In the camera perspective, pressing 0 on the number pad on your keyboard. Set as background for a clip. Select all by pressing A twice. Set up tracking scene. And now you have the foreground object, this cube, the background object, this floor, and all of these empties, which would be your background. Anyway, there's part 2 on this video coming soon. Right now I'm just going to finish up what I'm started here. Oh, what do you know? The object is also in here. Cool. So if you play, it should look like this. I'll explain why you see like this in a minute.